Hey guys, today I'm going to do a short video on adding wheel weights to my crawler wheels. So I've got a Gen 8, these are the stock wheels and tires, stock foams, stock plastic beadlock rims with metal locks, outer ring locks. I cleaned out my wheels and foams. They got wet, so I took them inside, washed them, pulled them out, cleaned them, dried them for a couple days. And I ordered these weights thinking that I would add some weight to it. So these are just standard automotive wheel weights that you use to balance a tire. These ones I've already completed, and anyway, I'll show you how I'm doing this. So I got these off of Amazon. They were $8 for 48 quarter-ounce weights. And you can keep the strips together. You can cut them off one by one. You can cut them and form them. I got the black powder-coated ones. You can get just gray ones. Anyway, I want to show you what I'm doing here. So I've measured it out. They come 8 to a strip. I can fit 11 around each wheel. And you just wrap them and then stick them on. So I've seen people fill these grooves. These plastic stock rims come with a little indentation and a groove, and they're breathable. They've got that tiny pinhole right there so that air can come and go in and out. There's one on each side. Water can drain out, air can go in and out, and dry the foams if they ever get water inside. But I've seen people fill that groove with wire, which I think is a great idea. I can't get as much weight as I want to. I'm adding a total of 2.75 ounces to my wheels, which equals out to 77.9 grams, almost 78 grams there. So these tires and wheels set up complete will be a little over 150 grams total. I think they're about 80, about 160 grams. They're about 80 stock with no weights in them at all. So some people don't like to add rotational weight. That totally makes sense to me. They don't like to add weight to the wheels. They'd rather add the brass to the axle or to your components on the vehicle to keep your center of gravity low. That makes sense because it does, and it can put stress on your gears, on your drivetrain, on the knuckles and the joints there. So if you don't want to do that, that's okay. I'm just trying to improve my stock wheels on my Gen 8. And I've got some on order. I'm just trying to get as much use as I can out of these and have some fun with them and test them out. And keeping my stock tires. I really like the treads on them. Also, I've taken a knife, a small razor blade, and I took the time to sipe my center treads. I don't know if you can see that, but they're siped in the middle there. So if you're ever driving on wet terrain or icy terrain, even slick rocks, it will just give it that much more surface area and flex, and it can grip a little bit better. So I'll show you what I'm doing with these wheels on how to add wheel weights. I'm gonna take the whole strip. Some people cut them one by one. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna peel the whole backing off of one strip, line it up, and just press it and kind of leave a small gap, stretching each one and pressing them on one by one. Again, these are quarter-ounce weights. I can fit 11 around each wheel, which adds 2.75 ounces, or a total of 78 grams of weight. I don't think there's a problem with adding rotational weight. I really don't. I think if you go way heavy, yeah, there's going to be an issue, but this is just a few ounces. It's not, you know, solid tons of pounds on these joints. And these gears and your knuckles on your axles are capable of withholding up to 45 pounds on the actual knuckle. So I don't think that a few ounces is going to make a big stress when you're crawling and going slow speeds. Some people argue that. That's okay. That's their opinion. I have yet to break something. I might break something. I don't know. I'm just saying it's my car. I'm going to have fun with it, with what I want, and try to add some weight down low to my rubber. Some people are worried about these falling off. I was a little bit worried. They stuck on pretty well. But I'm going to wrap them with electrical tape, just so that when I install them inside the foams, there's no chance of them, you know, coming loose or popping off, and that they kind of all stick together. I'm kind of keeping it tight and stretching the tape as I go around. Right there. We'll cut it. So there you go. It's a little bit trickier to get them into the wheel or in the tire with the foam. I did not modify my foams. Some people modify their foams. They'll cut a little slit in out of there. I don't think it's necessary. The stock foams on these wheels are pretty good. It's the memory foam. A lot of people don't like it, but I don't mind it. I love the tread on these wheels with tires, and I love the rubber compound is super grippy, super sticky. Tread pattern, not so great unless you're, you know, trailing and going through mud. For rock crawling, it's probably not the best. I do like them though, so I didn't modify the foams. I'm going to leave them stock. I figured it will just put that much more outer pressure and keep them a little stiffer, because I have found that they kind of fold a little too easy, even with the memory foam. They fold a little easier than I'd like. So you stretch your tire out around that, get it in there. You can kind of feel your the memory foam, and I just go around the whole tire on the inside with my fingers and make sure it's about even on both sides. And do the same here. So you can kind of see the memory foam is about even. Now I just I'm gonna double check that. Put my rubber inside of the wheel. Make sure that you put them on correctly. So this is gonna be on the right side of my vehicle. So I want this outside, on the outside of the pattern. These are directional treads. So they travel like this. You don't want to put them like that. Otherwise your rubber will be backwards. You won't have as, some people do that when they're racing or, you know, driving through mud. Might be great, but normal traction, it's not going to throw. They design it like this for a reason. So make sure you're putting your rim on the way that you expect, with the outside rim to the outside of the tire if you have directional tires. Fold your rubber, make sure it's in the groove. Now I'm just going to add these rings, the beadlock rings. You will need a 1.5 millimeter driver for these. Some of them are different, some are smaller. Most of them are 1.5 mil, and I don't tighten them all the way. I like to tighten them just like I do a regular car, in a star pattern across from each other. And you go back up, tighten it. And I'm not going all the way tight. I'll show you how I kind of torque them at the end. These do not need to be crazy tight. So I just did that one, so I'm going to come here. Star pattern. I'll go to this one. You don't have to. It doesn't need to be completely balanced, but it'll just help you focus and make sure that you're tightening it balanced and evenly. So then I go through and I kind of pull the rubber back from the bead lock. Not a ton, but I don't want to be pinching any more rubber in there than is necessary. So then I go back and I just tighten with 3 fingers. Tighten, don't strip them. You can feel when it's going to be like it's tight and then no more, no more. These Gen 8 plastic bead locks aren't bad. A TRX4 or an axial, or you're gonna get glued wheels, which is fine. I'm happy with the Gen 8. I like it. I think you kind of get a little bit more for your money. Some people don't like it if hobby shops don't carry their stuff. Personally, I like Redcat. I'm close to their headquarters. Shipping and their online store is great. So that's how you add some weight to your beadlock wheels. And now I'll do the back. So these ones are done. You can tell that they're definitely heavier. Almost twice the weight added. So it's about 160 grams now per wheel. If you have a kitchen scale or a gram scale, you can measure that. And anyway, I hope that give me some feedback if you guys like this, don't like this, if you think that, you know, it's not good to add weight, rotational weight. Everyone's argued about that. I don't think it's going to harm anything, and I'll let you know if it does. So thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.